Detroit went wild with car design. Some creations crashed harder than they drove. These are the wildest flops of the decade. 12. 1950 Ford Crestliner. Let's start our countdown with the 1950 Ford Crestliner. A car that proves sometimes the most obvious marketing gimmick is also the most desperate one. In the post-war car boom, American automakers raced to create standout models to lure buyers back into showrooms. Ford joined the fray with the Crestliner, a sedan whose standout feature was, wait for it, a black vinyl roof. Yes, you heard that right. A car hyped for having fake leather stretched across the top. At the time, this vinyl roof might have seemed bold, giving off a sporty, upscale vibe. But beyond the surface, the Crestliner offered little else. We're talking the same old flathead V8 standard suspension and steering, and no innovative features. The Crestliner was Ford's hurried response to GM's phenomenally popular 1949 to 1950 hardtop convertibles. Though decidedly elegant, the formal look wasn't big that year. At $1,711, it was a good $200 more expensive than the custom Tudor, which partly explains why only 17,601 were built that year. Number 11. 1951 Mercury Monterey. The Mercury Monterey looked like the American dream with its long sweeping lines, shiny chrome, and elegant proportions. Ford positioned it for buyers who wanted something fancier than a basic sedan but weren't quite ready for a Lincoln. In terms of looks, the Monterey nailed it. It looked like the kind of coupe a movie star would drive, stylish and modern, but then you actually drove it. The trouble started when you pressed the gas pedal. Under the hood was a flathead V8 enough for city cruising but far from exciting, with its 255.4 cubic inch displacement producing an estimated 112 horsepower. The heavy steering and oversized body made driving the Monterey feel like pushing a couch on wheels. The 1951 facelift didn't help matters. Car style critic noted that the higher, longer, more squared-off rear fender adds bulk to Gregory's graceful design, and the rear looks awkward in comparison to the earlier models. Number 10, 1959 Chevrolet El Camino. The idea of combining pickup utility with coupe comfort sounds great, at least in theory. That's exactly what the 1959 Chevrolet El Camino set out to be, a stylish two-in-one ride ready for both cruising and hauling. But in reality, the El Camino lost its way. Built on the Chevrolet Impala platform, the El Camino inherited the flamboyant styling of the 1950s. We're talking massive tail fins, low stance, and sweeping lines, but that made it look more like a showpiece than a workhorse. It lacked serious payload capacity, had a small bed, and rode too low for real truck duties. On the flip side, as a car, it didn't offer the interior comfort or refinement of a traditional sedan. The cabin was cramped due to the pickup design, leaving drivers with a compromised experience. Number 9, 1957 Lincoln Premier. If you wanted to turn heads in 1957, the Lincoln Premier was your ride. With flashy design, chrome everywhere, and a hulking presence, it proudly screamed, "I'm peak American luxury." At nearly 19 feet long and over 5,000 pounds, maneuvering it through city streets was a nightmare one. The Premier was introduced in 1956 as a notch above the Lincoln Capri. For 1957, extensive updates included higher fins, flared quarter panels, and a newly legal 4-headlight quadra-light arrangement. Even with a powerful V8 under the hood, the car was sluggish and guzzled gas, even by 1950s standards. While rivals like Cadillac were introducing cutting-edge tech, Lincoln seemed stuck in place. With a hefty price tag, oversized frame, and underwhelming real-world performance, the Premier failed to stay competitive. Number 8, 1958 Buick Limited. Buick was once a hallmark of accessible American luxury, but the 1958 Limited felt more like a tone-deaf attempt to outshine everyone, and failed. At over 19 feet long and nearly 5,000 pounds, it was more yacht than car. The 1958 Limited was supposed to be Buick's key to re-entering the luxury car market, but they couldn't have picked a worse time. 1958 turned out to be a recession year, with the economy experiencing its worst downturn since the 1930s. To compound the problem, thousands of American motorists suddenly appeared to tire of the big road locomotives that had been in vogue for so long. Buick sold only about 7,400 units before killing off the model in 1959. The Limited became a textbook case of what happens when style smothers substance. Number 7, 1955 Eldorado Biarritz. In the golden age of American glitz, Cadillac was the ultimate symbol of wealth and style, and the Eldorado Biarritz was the crown jewel. It featured an exclusive high-performance engine with dual Rochester 4-barrel carburetors producing 270 horsepower. But despite its impressive specs, the car was too heavy to be quick. No groundbreaking tech, no superior performance, just flash. And that flash came with a price. Gold trim, leather seats, and custom parts meant maintenance was expensive and replacement parts rare. Number 6, 1957. Ford Skyliner retractable. Imagine driving a car that transforms from coupe to convertible at the push of a button one. In the 1950s, that sounded like science fiction, but Ford brought it to life with the Skyliner retractable. The Skyliner's roof system was a mechanical marvel. 7 electric motors, 6 locking mechanisms, 4 lift jacks, and nearly 600 feet of wiring. When it worked, it was mesmerizing, but when just one motor failed, the entire system came to a halt. The folded roof took up nearly the whole trunk. Add the extra weight from all the components, and you had a heavier car with worse fuel economy and poorer handling than its conventional Ford siblings. At nearly $3,000 back then, over $33,000 today, buyers had to ask, is that rooftop ballet really worth all the compromise? Number 5, 1959 Cadillac Eldorado Brougham. In 1959, the money it took to buy a house could also buy you a Cadillac Eldorado Brougham. With a starting price over $13,000, nearly $135,000 today. The interior featured leather, wool, brushed stainless steel, and even a steel roof with polished chrome. It came with luxuries that bordered on absurd: a custom perfume dispenser, stainless steel cocktail tumblers, and memory position seats. Every Brougham was hand-assembled by Pininfarina in Italy, giving it a Rolls-Royce aura in an American shell. Cadillac produced just 99 units that year. While it remains a rare collectible, it never gained mainstream success because it embodied a flawed idea. Number 4, 1956 DeSoto Adventurer. DeSoto aimed to sell this car to thrill seekers and speed lovers craving something bold and new. Marketed as a high-performance coupe to rival the Corvette and Thunderbird, the Adventurer packed a potent Hemi 341 cubic inch engine with over 300 horsepower. Impressive on paper, but behind the wheel it was a different story. Soft suspension, weak brakes, and a heavy frame made the handling feel sloppy and anything but sporty. Number 3, 1958 Lincoln Continental Mark III. Some cars make you feel like royalty behind the wheel, but the Mark III made you feel like you were captaining a battleship. Stretching nearly 20 feet long and weighing over 5,000 pounds, the Lincoln Continental Mark III was the definition of excess in both form and function. Lincoln aimed to challenge Cadillac with a top-tier luxury model. They packed it with features impressive for the time: 6-way power seats, power trunk, power windows. On paper, it was cutting edge, but in reality, everything was too heavy, too fragile, or both. When it came to driving, its massive 430 cubic inch V8 couldn't overcome the weight or the shockingly poor fuel economy. With a price tag nearing $6,000, over $65,000 today, the Mark III competed head-to-head with the Cadillac Eldorado, but lacked the refinement to win that battle. Number 2, 1958 Edsel Pace. Ford believed Edsel would be their ace in the hole, a premium middle-market brand to bridge the gap between Ford and Mercury. Instead of becoming a breakout success, the Edsel Pacer became one of the biggest failures in American automotive history. Originally aimed at a supposed gap in the product lineup, the Edsel was 9 years in gestation, with 18,000 names suggested before Edsel was chosen. Design target Roy Brown wanted to create a car that looked nothing like anything else on the market, and in that, he was successful. Acceptance would be another matter. Priced at around $2,900, over $30,000 in today's money, the Pacer was pitched as a mid-level luxury car. But poor build quality, a fragile teletouch transmission, and frequent electrical issues quickly eroded trust. Launched during an economic slowdown, the idea of spending big on an unreliable car just didn't sit well with American buyers. Number 1, 1959 Ford Edsel Ranger. Born from Ford's ambitious plan to launch a mid-tier brand, the Edsel Ranger was expected to change the game. Instead, it became one of the most infamous flops in American automotive history. Visually, its signature horse-collar grille sparked endless controversies. Few loved it, many cringed, But design wasn't the only issue. The Ranger was packed with futuristic features like push-button gear selectors and dome-style electric gauges. Clever on paper, but clunky, unreliable, and expensive to fix. The Ranger was the base trim model for Edsel, available in various body styles and packing a 303 horsepower 5.9-liter V8. While their rollout was highly publicized in the fall of 1957, Edsels were a marketing disaster for Ford. Poor build quality, misaligned panels, and rattly interiors further eroded consumer trust. These spectacular failures remind us that great looks aren't enough, and cool features aren't enough. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more such content.